Welcome to Faro Training. Defining global registration parameters. In this video I will speak about set sphere radius, correspondence search settings, place scan settings and fine registration settings. Set sphere radius. The standard spheres have a diameter of 140 mm, but there are also spheres with a diameter of 200 mm available. Both are configured in scene. For the automatic registration and detection you have to set the used diameter in the options in scene. To set the radius, go to Tools, Options, Matching, Match Sphere Settings. In the Match Sphere settings you can define the preferred radii of the used sphere reference object. You can preset more than one preferred sphere radius by entering the radii among one another into the text file. Here you see the Match Sphere settings dialog. Among the first entry 0.07 you can enter additional entries. Now I'll show you this in the video. Go to Tools, choose Options, search the Matching tab, and go to Match Sphere Settings. Here you see the text box. Correspondence search settings. There are two types of the automatic correspondence search. Online correspondence search. During creation or after automatic naming of reference objects, the algorithm will search for corresponding scan and external references, and will give these references the name of its corresponding scan or external reference objects. Each time a fast and raw scan registration will be executed. Note: only a raw fit is done. Therefore, these intermediate positions might look not as good as they could be. Always perform a full registration at the end. Correspondence search during registration. Search for correspondences and automatic naming of corresponding objects during the registration process. More intense and more precise as the online correspondence search. To set the options for correspondence search, go to Tools, Options, Matching, Place Scan Settings. Place Scan Settings. The automatic correspondence search will be applied during the registration process. The online correspondence search will be applied if the position of a scan is known, e.g. by a surveyed reference point or reference sphere representing the position of the scanner in other scans. Use normals of checkerboards for correspondence search. Disable this if the direction of checkerboards has changed from one scan to another, e.g. if you use checkerboard targets that can be tilted and turned for a precise orientation to the scanner. Enable this option to use the available GPS, e.g. manually added information for the correspondence search. If enabled, only correspondences that are consistent to the given GPS positions and their related accuracies will be accepted. With the built-in compass in the Faro Focus 3D, orientation information is available for the single scans. Enable this option to use this information as auxiliary information for the correspondence search. With the built-in altimeter in the Faro Focus 3D, hide information from the sensors available for the single scans. Enable these options to use this information as auxiliary information for the correspondence search. In this part of the settings you can enable or disable the use of the inclinometer data for your registration. You can decide if you want to register according to GPS data or not. With the bar you can determine how well your distributed references have to be to place the scan. Fine registration settings. With the fine registration you can refine the placement of the scans. it is disabled by default. You may enable it in the Play Scan settings under Tools, Options, Matching. To improve the position of the scan reference object, fine registration needs to analyze scan points within a certain radius around these objects, usually a value between 0.5 and 0.7 meters. With max iterations you can define the maximum number of iterations. Filter correspondences. Filters correspondences that are most likely wrong and excludes them from registration. Used objects. Limits the fine registration to certain types of scan reference objects. Now I will show you this in the video. Go to Tools, Options, Matching, and here you have different settings. In Play Scan settings you see Correspondence Search and its options. And here you see Fine Registration and its options. You can enable it, change the radius. And here you see the Play Scans menu. And with Defaults button you can restore your default.